Gearbest sent me another quad review, and this one is another Syma, and this is the X5UC, and a really slick, sort of low profile looking quad. I like the way the camera's mounted and everything. Looks really nice on the photograph anyway, so hopefully it'll be that good inside. I'm sure it will. It's got with hover function, hover in position, so I'm sure it doesn't have position hold. It only seems to be showing it as a hover hold, which I'm just basically, it's got altitude hold, would be a nice way of putting it. Obviously comes with a camera, I assume my one does flips and stunts and everything, headless mode, and it's got barometer set height, so it definitely has altitude hold. I mean, Syma do really nice boxes, nice and clean lines and everything. Runs through a few of the bits, but I'll do all this when we get into the box. Just want to show you that it actually comes well packaged up and looks slick if you're going to give it as a present. There we go, cardboard out the way, and user manual, which I'll go through later on in the review. I just want to show you how well packaged it is. It's got moulded polystyrene obviously, and this actually pushes down to hold it in position, so definitely no damage whatsoever. Nothing's moved in transport, which is brilliant. And nice thing looking at this, it's fully assembled as well, ready to fly, just charge the battery. Well, that's it all unpacked, and I must admit, first of all, it's a really smart looking quad. I love this high finish plastic. It's quite sort of flexible, so I think if it took a knock, I think it would sort of deflect quite a fair bit out of the way. The props are really flexible, as you can see there, so if they take a hit, that's just going to get out of the way. Hopefully it won't damage anything or anyone. Nice clear on-off switch here. And I do love the sort of red details on it. It just highlight it as a very smart looking quad. If I turn it around so it's facing towards you, it's really low profile. Just a really nice looking piece of kit. And let's move on through the rest of the stuff. The transmitter follows the same thing again, same theme with this red on it. Nice, feels nice in the hand, very sort of ergonomic I would say, and sort of very smooth to handle. The top of the grips is all plastic, and there's sort of hardly any grip on there at all, but I think it'll be absolutely fine to fly. Nothing marked on any of the buttons or anything, so I'll go through the instruction manual in a minute. And you get a complete set of spare props. You get a micro SD card to USB adapter there, but you don't actually get a micro SD card, so you do need one to record, because this one actually records on the camera on the actual quad itself, so you will need one. And with that, we're onto the camera, again following this really slick looking design, and that just simply pops into there. You plug it in first of all, then pop it and give it a sort of 90-degree turn, and that will lock it in position. And that's really smart. You do need the micro SD card to pop in the back there. You get the obligatory micro sort of mini Phillips screwdriver, again in Tigger colours, that's rather good. Oh, and also this is as well. And onto the prop guards, and they're really simple. There's no caps to remove or anything. You just simply slide them into position like that. Up the right way would help. And they click in, and then you just press the button and click them back out again. Sorry, that was a little tougher than I thought. So you pop them in like that and just give them a little bit of a tweak to get them back out. So they're really simple, no screwdriver required for those. I shan't be bothering with them. They're really light, but they're pretty tough actually, so I think they do quite a good job. My only point is they're clear here, but they're not clearing at the top. There's no curved sort of protection that you sometimes get, but to be honest, with these props I really don't think you'd do any damage anywhere anyway. To charge your battery, or to actually charge your batteries, which is another key point on this one, and I really like this, they're finally listening to us. You simply press that down, pull that out, and you've got your battery there. It's a proprietary battery, and when I say they're listening to us, they're actually giving us two. These are single cell batteries, and they're 500 milliamp hours, so but having two is such an advantage. You can be charging one while you're flying, or you've got double the flight times when you're out. If you're going to fly back to back on the batteries, I would give the motors a little time just to cool down in between the two flights, because they're brushed motors, and they don't like too much heat. So. And simply for charging with them, you get the USB adapter, and that can either be charged via your computer or your laptop, or you can plug it into a mains adapter, and just simply plugs into there. And then you get a little red LED will come on, So that's the power coming back from there. When you plug that into the mains, the red LED will stay on, and then once it's fully charged, the LED will go off. Okay, on with the batteries, getting them charged, and just a good time to go through the instruction manual. This one's really nice. It's printed, as you can see, on an A5 paper. Nice clear black on white text all the way through, and sort of covers everything really. Some of the translations aren't the best in the world, slightly confusing if you were brand new to quads, but not the end of the world by any means. Seen a lot worse, that's for sure. It runs literally through everything on it, and it's quite nice because it only seems to deal with this quad, so it's not a generic one that has loads of other stuff written in it. It's nice and simple, that it is talking about the quad you've actually got here. Nice exploded view at the end, and then all your parts. If you're new to things, this identifies them all, and it's nice and clearly marked, and what quantities you'd expect to have in your package, so if anything's missing you can just check it. So no, a very good little manual. With this quad you can either turn the quad on first of all or turn the transmitter on. It will bind either way, but good practice is always to actually turn on the transmitter first of all, and that's simple press on this button which clicks in and stays in position. You get little red LEDs flashing away there, which you really can't see in bright light, but it is there. And then to actually turn the quad on, it's a quick press will do nothing, but you have to hold it down for about half a second. You get the flashing LEDs, and then when we bind by using this left stick, you go up and down, and then slows down on the flashing, then goes on to solid. And as you can see, you've got the orange LEDs at the front, and you've got the green ones at the back, and they're quite bright actually. I'm quite impressed with those. They're good. There's three ways of starting this to get the motors running basically. There's one where you pull both the six down and into centre, so sort of there, and then let go, and you can stop it that way as well. Or the other way is to up and down on the throttle, and then it'll just tick away, and you can stop it again. Seems like it's never going to stop, but it honestly does. It panics you when you're coming into land, but that's just the way it does it. And you can use any of the stop positions or start positions, it doesn't really matter. The third one I'm not actually going to show indoors, and that's press this one, and then it automatically starts to go into tick over, and after about 2 seconds it will then take off to about a metre and a half, something like that, but I'm not going to do that indoors. To change rates, it always starts in low rate. You simply press this one in just with a quick press in and out. Oops. There we go, you get a beep beep, and that means we're now in high rates. It's only got low and high rates, and then to turn it back into low rates, you just give that a quick press again. If you want to go into headless mode, you simply press that in, hold it in for a couple of seconds, and then you get a beep beep beep, and it keeps beeping, and then the LEDs start flashing. The beeps stop after a little while, which is a relief, but the LEDs keep flashing away, which is quite good actually, because sort of got a slow pulse on them, so you're always in headless mode then, until you take it out of headless mode, which again is just press that down, hold it for a second, then you get that long beep, and then that means that it's actually come out of headless mode. The trim is a little bit weird on this, and I can't show it because it's not flying, but basically you hold this button in, so if it's drifting, and there's loads of videos on what trim's all about and how to set it, if it's drifting around, not staying in a central position in calm environments, I mean zero wind or flying it indoors, you hold this button in, and you must be flying, so if it's drifting forward you hold this button in and then pull this one back until it gets to a level position, and then so long as you keep this in all the time you can adjust any of the trims on it, and then when you've finished adjusting you simply let go, and then it hopefully will hover in one position. I've had a few bangs with this and playing around with it, and I haven't had to retrim it at all. It's absolutely fine. Normally you don't have to, I must admit. I've not found a lot of quads that I have to trim things on. The other button on the back here is for flipping, and this is a bit of an unusual flipper. Normally you just press it once and then you can just choose a direction with this one, but with this one you have to press it and keep it held, choose a direction, and then it will flip. So if you just press that and let go, it won't flip at all, and you got that double beep also when it was going to do it, and you choose the direction of flip: front, forward, right and left. And then onto the last buttons here on the left hand side, sorry. This one's your video one, so you press that and you get a beep beep, and then the LEDs flash differently to the headless mode, which is quite good. Means your video is actually running, but actually it doesn't mean the video is running. This is quite common, but There's no micro SD card in here. I've done this on purpose, but it's given the illusion that it's recording, and it isn't. So always make sure you've got a card in there. If not, unfortunately, you're not going to record anything because it's got nowhere to store it. To stop that, you simply press that button again, and then if you want to take a still photograph, you press this one on the your top left, sort of the furthest one away from me, if you like. Press that, and you get a flash off the lights, which means it's taking a still image.
Let's just see how the auto takeoff works. What's that like? Whether we have to sort of prime it first of all. Nope, goes straight into tick over. And goes up lovely. That's pretty good. That's very nice actually. Those LEDs aren't bad actually. Huh. It certainly holds the altitude hold, doesn't it? Hey, that's not bad, that's in low rates. Very nice. I usually get the quads to pirouette, but I'll do it today. That is pretty good actually. Oh, very good I would say. So that's in low rates. And that's in high rates, so not a huge amount of difference. But nicer. Yeah, that's high rates. That's good. Yeah, because I stopped it so quick, it will drop on the altitude hold, but if you just leave it, it holds really nicely actually. Or perhaps if I did it slowly. Yeah, see, it doesn't do it so much. It's because you change it so quickly. That's the reason the altitude hold isn't working. Or drops quickly. That actually holds really well. They're getting better and better at these altitude holds, they really are. Okay, so just try that in low rates again. So press this one again. Oh yeah, that really is low. Will be good for video, certainly good for learning. Ooh. That's actually got, for an altitude hold, it's actually got a bit of go about it, and it can descend properly as well, so like that. I'm going to put it back up into high rates, but low is very good. Let's just stop that video for a second and make sure we haven't lost anything. Actually, let's take a bit of breeze picking up in the garden. And it is quite a miserable day. The Scots have a word for this day, it's called dreich, which means just miserable. It works quite well, and it's cold as well, so it's double dreich. That's good. Okay, so let's try the flip. Oops, not doing anything on the flip then. Whoa, now hang on a minute. We don't need any of that. The flip button you have to hold in. That's the first quad I've come across that. Well, you do. Yeah. I don't really like them when they flip anyway, so but I always like to do it because I know people like to see it on. The pitch and roll is not the most aggressive, and we're in high rates, aren't we, I think, by now? Yeah, we are. So it's the yaw is sort of better than the pitch and the roll. It's slightly more aggressive, I wouldn't say a lot, but if you're new to flying, this is actually very nice. The fact you don't have to worry about the altitude hold, and then you can learn a bit more with the throttle, so you're not trying to learn everything at once. And I think these altitude hold ones, now they're getting it sorted, are very good for learners. Okay, let's try headless mode. So you hold this one in for 2 seconds. There we go, and you get a beep, beep, beep. As for normal, well, it's definitely headless. The beeping stopped, so that's quite good. That's definitely headless. And I think you have to hold it in for another couple of seconds. Yeah, so that's cancelled it. Yep, definitely. Yeah, actually, I mean, it's not got a kick out to it, to be fair, but it's not bad. Let's turn that video off, I think we've got enough of that. I'll just show you a kick out. So that's just basically maximum throttle. That's good. Okay. That's recovered better than a lot of them in altitude hold. I'm just going to come down here because I know I've got... have I put the video going, or is that... Yeah, the video's going. Just wondered whether we have flashing LEDs for low battery warning. I don't quite know what difference the LEDs would be. So here, we've got a good, I think it's a good 50 metres, because I'm actually learning to come further back. So let's see how much, whether it goes to 50 metres or not. Yeah, that's definitely 50 metres there. That's very good. Whoa! Oh dear, I knew that was going to happen. Oh dear.
Okay, so my first Syma X5. I had to check whether it was my first, and it really is. So a little bit late to the Syma X5 party, but I'm loving it now I'm here, I must admit. I do like this little quad. It is really nice. Love the fact it comes fully assembled. All you have to do is charge the batteries. You get 2 of those. Absolutely superb thing to do. They should do it on all quads. At least 2 batteries with every quad, I think would be fine. And the way that the actual landing gear is superb. It's nice, low profile, keeps it out of the way, doesn't get caught on anything, it sort of skids if it's going to do anything. The quad is so light, even with the battery on, I don't think it would ever catch on anything anyway, or it would just pitch over. Had a couple of bashes with it, as I tend to do, because I tend to go into the woods and fly tight and everything, and it just recovers, no problem at all. There's no damage on it whatsoever, so really pleased with that. The only damage is that's missing, but then that was my fault. I took it apart and then can't find it, to be honest. It's somewhere in my room. I like the fact that it's got an on-off switch, and it's a positive one as well. You definitely know it's working. So yep, the quad is absolutely superb. The only thing I would say with that, there's only one slight thing, is the rates. It's got low and high rates, and I think that could be low, intermediate, and then I think they could do a higher rate, which would take you up that next little level when you're learning to fly. But honestly, you could fly this all day in high rates and absolutely have a blast with it. It's really good fun. The transmitter itself, my usual bugbear, wish they'd sort of mark them up. Even with just the icons of what they do would be fine, but actually the text would be even better, especially for people learning. But once you've flown it a couple of times, honestly, you know where everything is. It's not far from your fingers, I can assure you. And the actual control was really nice. I did about 60 meters on it, no problem at all. And it has to be line of sight because it's not got FPV on it. So I think 60 meters for a quad of this size away from you, that's more than enough. You don't really need to go any further than that. In my personal opinion. And yeah, really like it. Chuffed with the whole thing. If you're a beginner, you could do far worse than buy one of these.